Isn't it amazing how when you're the youngest, you know how to adapt to your surroundings, whether it's at home, with your friends. You kind of you learn those instincts as you get older. And I did the same. I didn't go really anywhere. I was home. But let me tell you, I knew how to really distinct the difference between a lot of stuff. You know, one of my brothers, oh, Gringo, did you like that? Gringo, you want to try that? Gringo, let's see what happens, and I got to take care of this. I mean, I knew at a young age what was Sensimillion, what was Colombian gold, how to weight good weed, how to put it in its packages. I knew how to break up a brick of pure coke. Yeah, I knew how to step on it, as we would say. I knew how to turn it into crack. We had pills, speed, back then it was called. So, you know, I it's my story, like I told you guys. It's my world. It's what I seen. It's what was in front of me at that time. I never judged it. What did I know? I had some big connection with my siblings. They were like, let's, do you like it? Let's weight it. Don't tell nobody. Let's hide it. So it was, I felt like, wow, I don't care. I'll do it. Because, I was with them. Everything I did, I was like, I don't care. Yeah. My siblings really likes me. Or my sibling they think I'm cool, man. Well, we get older. It's the way it's supposed to be, man, because they had their agenda to do what they had to do in life. And then I was just, I was getting older. Pa was getting older. Turing, well, he went to live with his wife called Nilda, and they would take care of each other. And we would always visit Tio Turing, and Tio Turing would come over whenever we could. But then it got to the point that he was too sick. So everyone ended up merging together. Mom got a building on her own. Yes, she did, man. You know what? Tú sabes. All the struggle that I told you in the beginning of how our folks came like in the late 50s and 60s, and they played hard when they played loteria, lottery, and they played poker, and they played dice, and they played numbers. And I mean, right now, you can go to a store and play a lotto. And those same dreams that you play lotto are the same dreams that Mom and Pop and all those Latinos, and in general, everyone that came here from many different places. They wanted to make it big. And they had that dream because what else did they have, or did we have? So we believed in those dreams, and we really hoped really big on those dreams. And she era fuerte, she was strong. I mean, she knew. I mean, we were all males in our house. We were, dominated. She was the only female, my sister, but she was always in the room, like I said. And so there you have it. I remember one day, Mom, took us all. All my siblings took us all, and we were going so far in the car. And we went to some suburb, and I never seen so many stores together. So many stores together. I mean, all the kinds of department stores together. It was a mall, what you would call a mall now. And we went into that store, into that mall, and Mom told all of us to grab a cart. My older brother, my other brother, my sister, and I. And I was so shy, so quiet, and so timid that I didn't even know what was going on. But sure enough, everybody dispersed, and everybody was gone, and one brother was over here. I don't know what he was doing, buying stuff at the auto place. My sister was over here. She was checking out all the dresses and other things that she can get, you know. My father was all taking out where the guys were, all the stuff that you get for men, and everyone was happy, and I was just there standing and looking at everyone, and I didn't even know what was going on. And sure enough, when we were out to pay, you could see all these cars right in front of us. Our cart, Mom's cart, Bambino's cart, Pinky's cart, my sister's cart. And then the following week, guess what? We had our own building. Yeah, it wasn't an apartment. I mean, we had apartments all our lives. You know, and we moved like right across the street from the same apartment that we had. And sometimes down the block from the apartment that we lived on. Maybe it was $1 cheaper, 50 cents cheaper. But my God, la vieja, los viejos, my mom, my dad, got a house for us. 2505. Oh, she dreamed. She says, mira, tienen una casa para ustedes cuatro, for you guys. Look, you got a house for you guys four. I can rest. Because now I know you guys will have a place to go to. And it was just like that. You know, my mom we lived on the top floor. Then on the first floor, Tio Turin came to live with us. He was getting a little older, of course, and needed a lot of help. My older brother, well, he had the basement, and it was cool, man. And then we had a 2-car garage. Oh my God, 2-car garage and a yard. We had a yard. No one would scream at us, and it wasn't dirty, and it was our yard. Mom can plant stuff. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it, you know. It's like you can even hear the song from the Jeffersons, moving on up. Well, we were moving on up, man. And we were in a really nice neighborhood. And she did that for us. Los viejos, they did that for us, man. And how do they do that? How did they do that? Well, their hopes and dreams and their hard work. Their hopes and dreams and their hard work gave us everything. And now, when it was their time, they knew that they were leaving from a place that they made and they got. Each of those old folks, you know, their life went on a hold, went slower when they started all over to raise us for. And you don't know that when you're a kid. When you're a kid or you're young, all you do is you want, you need, you must have. And they gave us everything, man, with everything that they can work, everything that they had at their disposal, everything that they knew that they can work at. That's amazing. Where would we be? And let me tell you, even though Tio Turin was very eccentric, Tio Mike was also very talented in his own ways and magical. Mike Acevedo. My brother, Binky, oh my God, so talented. My other brother, he was really talented as a musician. I mean, it was all a bunch of magical people, but somehow it didn't connect. Somehow it didn't, it wasn't like a magnet. It was just so divisive and everyone with their own thing. Now I can't pretend because I'm the youngest. I can take it all in and I can be who you want me to be. So when I was going through all that, learning all these things at that age, I shouldn't even really know, because I've always been a very introverted, shy child and kid, or didn't really get out of my neighborhood other than school back home. And I knew all about what I needed to know about how you weight certain weed, how you put certain chemicals together. And as time went on, well, everyone did their own thing. So I got a little older, and just being in my teens somewhere, I remember I was about 17 years old. And there I was in the basement of Mom's house, sitting on top of one of the washers next to the dryer. And I was there with some really close friends, and it was Frankie and it was Shali, and we were down there because we were listening to music, and we had a radio that had a cassette. We had to put a lot of music, we had to put a lot of batteries in it to make it work. So then there we were, and they asked me, Gringo, you should do a dance group. And I said, what, a dance group? And he goes, yeah, because we're always dancing anyways, and wherever you go, you got us dancing, you know, and whatever you do is dancing or creating stuff. And I go, I know, just like Theo, you know, yeah, you should get a dance group together. And Shali said, well, you know, I can put some girls out from shirts and they can come. And Shali used to have this really high voice, and she was always really, really small and really short. And then Frankie was always so cool. He goes, yeah. And then Gringo, you can have them come here into my bedroom, and they can have the audition. I was like, well, that's cool, you know. And that's how the All-Stars came together. And guess what? For the first time in my life, Gringo, I wasn't Jose. Gringo had an agenda. And these kids came when I didn't have a brother, a sister, a cousin, a neighbor, a friend, a teacher. You know, I was growing up just trying to soak it all in. And I didn't have time to know that when they came into my life, they were filling up all those spaces. And somehow it became my responsibility to learn and to believe in them, because I had to believe in them, because if they were there and if they were here to believe in me, I had to believe in their dreams no matter how far they were. I didn't know what I was doing, but I slowly had the all-star dancers. I mean, we stayed away from negative violence, peer pressure, drugs. I mean, despite everything that was going on, I had kids, some were abused mentally, physically, emotionally. Some were there, they just didn't want to go home. Some, all of them were amazingly talented and brave that they found a place to go to. That they found Gringo. I don't know if Gringo would have been somewhere trying to find some other place. I don't know if Gringo would have been brave enough to ask that big old Gringo, can I be in your group? I don't know. I don't know that. So that's why every time that they came and they asked me, Gringo, can I was already thinking, yes, you can. Fuck. You're so brave enough to ask me. Yes, you can. I was strict though. I was really strict. And that's how we became the All-Star Dancers. You know, and there was a lot of changes as we grew up. It was the 80s. It was the beginning. It was the 80s, man. It was disco changing. The music was changing. The style was changing. Big shoulder pads, big hair, big nails. I mean, puffy pants, parachute pants. Electronic music was coming into view. There was a lot of things changing for that generation. And we took it all in. We always were part of house music. That was always in the background. That was always underground. And we were there. Where else would the Latinos be? I mean, we've been there since the beginning of every beat, every rock and roll, every lelolai, every samba, every merengue, everything. So I learned that. All the music I learned being with the All-Stars and being with my brother, when he was having the disco production. So should I keep going?
I think no. Párale, porque no sabemos si que cómo está. A ver, ¿no? You can keep going.
You want to go a little bit more?
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, so I'll talk about the first days with the characters, and then I'll kind of stop. So then, you know, Shali asked me, Gringo, you know what? The other dance groups are going to have a battle with us. And you don't even know who's there. I mean, have you met somebody from In Poor Taste? And they call him Troy, this black guy. And everyone says he really can dance really good. You know, and then I said, okay, wow. I said, where is this? She says, it's at the Mirador. I'll go with you. I said, okay, that sounds really good. We'll go. Back then, we were always on flyers. I mean, we had battles every day and dances every weekend, I'm saying. And every other weekend, we were in some other place like the Rainbow. The Rainbow roller rink was really good for us at that time because it was actually the Rainbow roller rink. You know, we could have our roller skates and have music and the lights. It was just so cool. So I went with Shali to meet this guy that's a great dancer. His name is Troy. And he's one of the leaders of In Poor Taste. And I was thinking, wow, he's one of the leaders. Well, In Poor Taste got a lot of leaders. So I was really impressed. I was like, it's just me with the All-Stars. So I was wondering, you know, they got a lot of leaders. I gotta really meet this guy. And sure enough, man, when I got to the place, he was dancing. And he had his back towards me. And he had a white terry cloth around his head, like if you play tennis, so you can pick up the sweat. And he had a handkerchief he was waving in the air. It was white. He had a little tennis décolleté white, white tennis shirt, shorts, and white gym shoes with the white little Bobby socks. And I was like, oh my God, he is so matching. He was really on it. I tapped him on the shoulder and he turned around and he was dancing and waving his handkerchief and patting it and he wasn't still. And he said, what's going on? What's up? And then I said, hi, my name is Gringo and I wanted to meet you because I know we're going to battle and, everyone says that, you're one of the leaders from the In Poor Taste and, I just wanted to say hello to you. And he was like, oh, okay. He was checking me out. Oh, well, all right then. So then I said, okay. And when I was about to turn around, he goes, and he grabbed me. And I said, what? And he said, baby. He said, you're the leader from the All-Stars? You better come on with it now. You better come on and show me what you got. Man, and I was dancing with him all night and people were around us watching us. And I wasn't tired. I mean, we were just showing off. And let me tell you, my eyes when he was dancing, he was like a Michael Jackson, James Brown, Prince. I mean, he was just loving it. And I was dancing with him, but I was also admiring him like everyone else that was watching. I was dancing, but I was like, oh my God. And I was dancing and I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy is amazing. He's so amazing that I think I became his fan like automatically. Like I needed something to soak up that I didn't have at home or anywhere, or best friend or a sister or anything. And I just, man. And he ended up that night telling me, Gringo. And I said, what's up? He goes, come on, let's go. Now, I never left my home, the neighborhood, school. I knew my map. I'm a creature of habit. You know, don't turn the world on me around, because then I'm really lost. And he took me, we went down some gangways, some backways, some alleyways. We took a bus, and all of a sudden we were right there in Old Town. Now, I'm excited because I've never been to Old Town. And it looked so nice, and how it looked when we walked in the neighborhood. Everyone was walking back and forth. They had a lot of stores and museums where you go in, and cafes, and then it had a lot. It had quite a bit of gay clubs. It just was wild. And he told me, stand here, I'll be right back. And sure enough, he came back, and he licked his wrist, his hand on the top, and then he pressed mine, and then I had the same symbol, he had the same symbol, and he said, just walk right in there, and just act like you belong there, and look like you belong there, because, you know, if you look like you're scared, they're not going to let you in, you ain't got no idea. And I was like, oh my God, that's too much information, I never left my house, what the hell is he talking to me about, you know? And then he just was in front of the line, and he was just dancing, and the guy goes, just push him right in and go ahead, and I was just dancing, and then I got in. And then I was in there, and I was like, oh my God, these lights. And then he was like, just dance, bitch, just dance. I was like, what? I never even left home. And we were dancing, and we were jumping up and down. It was like euphoric. It was like a place, a land, a place I've never been to in my life, you know. And then he said, and then he stopped me. He said, come on, let's go. And I was like, oh man, let's go. So we went to, he goes, we want to go to another place. And sure enough, he came back out. Poof, he did the same thing. He went in, and then I was thinking, well, you know, I got this in the bag. You know, I know how to do this. And I was like, and the girls were in front of me. The guys, la, 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 la. He said, wait a minute. He goes, you're not right here. You don't even look. And you know why? I don't know what he said. Because, you know, Charlie Brown, when you hear the adults, you never hear what they say. They always going, whoa, 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 whoa. And I was so freaking scared. I was like, coño, so all I could hear, whoa, and I didn't know what to do. I felt like I just ran out of there. I went somewhere to lean against the car. Troy finally found out I wasn't there, came to get me. I said, I gotta go, man. I gotta go. Gringo, what's going on? I was waiting for you in there. It's beautiful. Come on, man, let's do it. Gringo, what's going on? And I said, oh my God, Troy, no. You know, Troy, I gotta go. Oh my God, I'm so scared. And then I don't know what happened, because when they see me and then they pulled me, he goes, calm down. I said, I know. Okay, they said no. He goes, what said no? The guy said no to me. You can't come in. He goes, you are crying because somebody said no to you? They didn't let you in the club? Come on. You know how many people said no to me? Gringo. Come on, let's go. Come on, someone's gonna say yes. Come on, there's always people that say yes. Come on, Gringo. And I was thinking, oh my God, he's so optimistic. It didn't bother him. He wasn't embarrassed. They saw my face. They know who I am. I don't come from there. I'm so shy. I was out of my element, man. He snapped me out of it. Why? Somebody said no to you? You know how many people said no to me? Come on now. Man, and that was the beginning of a friendship that we never separated. Let's leave it there. Because I can continue, but it'll get really emotional. Mm-hmm. And we need to go out. She needs to go out, and we need to go eat something. Mm-hmm. Oh, and this is recording, but I can start there at that part of choice. Yeah.